Beautiful waterfall, it's gorgeous down here. That's our plans so far on this trip, haven't worked out generally as we'd planned them. Okay, tonight we're doing something we never do.
Oh, beautiful, crossing the Murray River.
Superheats the salt, molten salt in top of the tower. So this is the view from our campsite tonight. So we're at Port Addis, which is just to the west of Bells Beach, and this is looking down along the Great Ocean Road. Clarissa and I are going to go and spend a couple of days in the Otways and see what that's about. It's a beautifully clear day today, and we've just stopped for lunch.
On our way through the Otways, we've decided to stop off and look at one of the waterfalls. This is the upper level of Erskine Falls, and we're here late in the afternoon. Not too many people here, but it's just beautiful.
We've just done the pretty short walk down from the car. It's maybe 50 metres. Beautiful waterfall, it's gorgeous down here.
This afternoon we've set up camp at Stevenson's Falls Campground. The waterfalls is about 1.5 kilometres away. There's a walking track which you can take. Apparently it takes about half an hour, or you can drive. We're down by the creek and it's very scenic, lots of little birds. We've had ducks coming to ground as well. Apparently there's going to be some wallabies that regularly pop up, we read, so we look forward to seeing those too. The only downside of this place is the amount of rubbish that we've found. So far out of our campfire, we've pulled out quite a few cans, glass bottles, but also an entire fridge slide. I'm not sure what those people were thinking, but we've packed it up and put it in our rubbish bag on the back of the truck and we'll dispose of it. Hopefully it's a great night. Evening all. Tonight we're having chicken wrapped in prosciutto with sweet potato, tomato and beans. I've got a little bit of fresh basil, and we'll toss it all together in some sort of delicious concoction. Hope you enjoy it as much as we will.
Clarissa and I have decided that we're not really thrilled by what's available in the Otways at the moment. We've seen most of the things that are here. We've driven a whole bunch of tracks and there's a whole bunch of lock gates everywhere. So we're thinking what we might do is bug out of here tomorrow, head up to Colac and then head west. Then we're thinking what we might do is we might hit the border track and head up the border track to McCabe's Corner, which is the top northwestern corner of Victoria. And then we're thinking we're going to go to the Flinders Ranges, up through Plenty of Pound and then up to Star Track. And maybe spend 2 days, we're thinking, on Star Trek, and then bog off home again. So we'll see how we go. That's kind of the loose plan. We'll see how it works out. Stay tuned. It's going to be exciting. Good morning, duck. Are you going to get in the car? Well, another change of plans then. We were going to go to Skytrek on Willow Springs Station in the Flinders Ranges, which is a pretty iconic kind of destination. But apparently all their tracks are closed because they've had a lot of rain up there and it's all washed out. So we're now going to stay at Mildura, which is a little further down the Flinders. And they've got a couple of tracks in there which sound like they're pretty cool. And we're heading across there. We've just come through Penshurst, which is at the southern end of the Grampians, halfway between Dunkeld and Hamilton, and we're heading for Hamilton at the moment on our way up into South Australia, which we're hoping to get somewhere to camp by about 5 o'clock this afternoon is kind of the current plan. We'll see how that goes. Our plans so far on this trip haven't worked out generally as we'd planned them, but we'll see what happens.
Where to now? That's the whole point of our show, right?
Where to now? God knows. Okay. Tonight we're doing something we never do. We're actually staying in a caravan park. We're in a caravan park in a place called Keith in South Australia. And it was actually cheaper to stay here and have hot showers and have access to washing machines than it was to stay in the national park. We charge you $10 to get in the door and then $11 per person per night, which is outrageous. So here we are. And it's actually a really nice, neat and tidy caravan park. Clarissa reckons that the toilets are actually cleaner than our toilet at home, which I find hard to believe. She disagrees.
There's a silo mural ahead.
Ah, cool!
There's a photo opportunity.
We've just stopped in a place called Cunalpin, and we stopped because we found this, which is the first silo mural that we've seen in all of our time in Victoria or South Australia.
And right next to the mural is the local Tunnel Revision Mural Project. They created this in 2016, and I think it's painted by many of the local kids and some local artists. And if you walk down through the tunnel, there's a whole variety of artworks. Glenn's taking a few photos, so we'll include what we find along the way.
Crossing the Murray River. Absolutely gorgeous. There seems a lot more water up this end of the Murray than the Victorian end.
It's a lot wider.
Not too long ago.
This is Brinkworth, which we didn't think was going to be all that impressive. It's a little country town, middle of wheat fields, as far as the eye can see. Not much here, but we did find this cool little campsite where you can bring a caravan in, and you've got a camp kitchen at the back there, which is really pristinely clean, looks new. Yeah, toilet here, neat and tidy. Not a bad place to stay. Not good for a camp, but yeah. We stopped here for lunch.
Stevenson. Oh, the light.
Yeah. That's cool. Wow, it's super long.
That's looking more and more like a light to me.
You know what it is? It's a solar farm where they point the mirrors at the salt and they superheat the salt.
Really?
Yep. And they use the superheated salt to create steam to generate electricity. And that's why we didn't see it when we were here last time, because it was dark.
We're about 20 odd k's out of Port Augusta, and we came across this massive heat reflector. Glenn thinks that they position the solar panels towards the sun, and then the sun
Superheats the salt, molten salt in top of the tower, and they use it to generate steam to generate electricity. And there'll be mirrors on the ground reflecting the sun
and
at the tower.
we saw this tower from kilometres and kilometres away. It's quite impressive, actually. It literally looks like a massive light at a football field, for example.
It's salt. Looks like salt.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Flood damage ahead. Imagine that when it's full of water.
Giant wall, look at it.
Yeah. Imagine how much water gets through there. Wow.
This looks more like us.
Yeah, that looks like this. Their website signage. So this is the view from our campsite tonight. We're camped on a sheep station effectively, and it's okay. We're not sure if it's actually the campsite we'd planned to camp at. There's two along here, both with very similar names, so we're going to stay here tonight and then we'll probably check the element of that tomorrow and see what it's like.
Hi all! Tonight we're bringing you dinner in the Flinders Ranges. We have a beautiful scenic background and we'll insert a photo or two afterwards, but we're just near the Red Ranges, not far from the National Park. Tonight we're going to have a Thai chicken curry. Quick, easy, lots of flies around, hopefully we won't have those. Into a heated pan goes a little bit of oil, whatever you've got going. I haven't pre-prepared my chicken, so I'm going to literally cut them with a pair of scissors as I go to make them into bite-sized pieces and make them quicker to cook. Let them get a bit of colour. You don't want to turn them too early. I know traditionally a Thai chicken curry puts the meat in after you've cooked off the coconut cream and the curry paste, but I like my meat a little bit flavoured and cooked beforehand.
This will be a great one-pot wonder, literally cooking out of the back of the truck. While that's cooking, I'm going to prepare an onion and some veggies. I've just got half an onion left from last night's dinner. I'm just going to cut this onion into slices. Give the chicken a bit of a toss. A little bit of colour coming on that chicken now. And I'll just grab the other veg. I lost my lime. I'll have to pop back and get a lime. I did get a lime now. Maybe you can find it for me later. Okay. Chicken's coming along nicely. Can I have a spoon also, please? Yeah. Okay. So to this, I'm just going to add a half a red onion that I had left over. And I have a zucchini from our garden. Cut into small pieces, they won't take long to cook. You can add any veg that takes your fancy, whatever you've got left over. Oh, I have some mushrooms too. I'll have to get those out of the fridge. Maybe we won't need them. Thanks, spoon and can opener, awesome. Bit of a toss round, cook those off. This is going to be a flavoursome dinner. Oh, there goes a bit of onion. I'll have to pick that one up in a second. Okay. Give it a stir. You can see the chicken's starting to brown, the onion's starting to soften. Now we're going to start to add the flavours. It's not a traditional Thai curry, just something we're whacking together on the side of the track in the middle of the Flinders Ranges with whatever we have. So, in goes a red curry paste, depending on how hot you like it, depends on how much curry paste you're going to add. I'm going to add about 2 heaped spoonfuls. Need to cook this off till it becomes fragrant and the flavours are cooked through. Otherwise it tastes a little bit raw and undercooked. You can't smell it, but I wish you could. Probably needs to cook for about 2 minutes to cook off the ginger and the garlic, the galangal, the red chillies, all these delicious things that come in a pre-made jar. Oh, that's hot, it's spitting. You can a coffee's a good sign it's probably cooked enough and aromatic, and you can add that next ingredient. Pan's really, really hot now. The chicken's pretty much cooked through, but we're going to finish that off. Don't you love my frying pans? These are great. These pack down really easily in my camping box. We got these from one of the camping shows, one of the numerous camping shows that we've been to, and I think it's by the same man that does the Bitchy Barbie, or maybe they're the Spun Steel people, but either way the Bitchy Barbie's great and so is the Spun Steel products. We have a wok and this as well. We're not sponsored by anyone, but we've just found over the years of experience that we love these products. In goes some coconut cream or coconut milk, whatever you happen to have. Melt the solids down. I tried shaking it before, but it just didn't mix. You
Could go for a light or full fat variety. Just like that, coconut milk has calmed the chili down and you can hear the sizzle has sizzled out. Give it a few minutes to come back up to temperature. And at this time, I'm going to add the last of my veggies. I'm not going to include the mushrooms tonight, I'll put those in something else. I've got a few green beans from the garden. Toss them through, they literally only take a minute or so. I'm not even going to bother topping and tailing them, to be honest with you. Pop them in. This will probably take about 2-3 minutes. The beans are starting to soften now. I've turned the pan down just to a medium heat to let that simmer through, let the veggies finish cooking. You can tell the zucchini's almost there, and as are the beans. Just going to have a taste. Flavours aren't quite right. Traditionally when you have a Thai curry, you need to balance the salt and the sweet, so we'll be adding a few other ingredients. While I think of it, because we often camp and we have our fridge in the back of the truck, lids and jars tend to open. So I keep some plastic bags, just spare ones that we've used before, and I often wrap things up like a dip or some cheese or a jar of curry paste in a snap lock bag, and then just in case a lid comes undone when we're travelling on bumpy roads or driving four-wheel tracks, we don't have a spillage in the fridge. Okay, so into this dish, as I said, we need to sweeten it up a little bit. I'm just going to turn down the heat. A little bit of brown sugar or palm sugar, whatever you've got going. Probably about 2 tablespoons. It's to your own liking to sweeten it up, because sometimes the curry can be a little bit hot. We've got some limes off our tree at home. Roll them, soften them up to get some more juice out. And then you can squeeze them in. You've got the sour, sweet, salty and sour. Now I have to admit I've forgotten the fish sauce. Didn't have any left, and when we stopped today down at Port Augusta at Woolies, they actually didn't have any fish sauce on their shelf. So tonight we're going with what we've got. I could add salt, but it's not quite the right sort of flavour that I'm after. And you'll probably find there's a little bit of saltiness naturally anyway in the curry paste in the jar that I've purchased. Okay, in go the limes. They smell fantastic. Give it a little bit of a mix through. We'll have a bit of a taste now. That's actually quite good. You can taste the sweetness. It's cut down the chili from the curry. If it is too hot, of course, you can add a little bit more coconut milk to your liking. So I found 1 lime was good, and I'm going to finish this off tonight with some coriander. You might think, wow, she's in the middle of the Flinders Ranges and you have fresh herbs. This bunch of coriander I've been carrying around in the fridge for the last 4 or 5 days, and it's kept really well. I've just sealed it, and I just spritz it every couple of days with a little bit of water to keep it a bit fresh, and I wrap it in a paper towel as well. I find that works really, really well for me. I'll seal it with a little clip as well. Okay, you can't smell that, but all I can smell is lime and coriander and the red curry at the moment. It tastes divine. Hope Glenn likes it, and bon appetit.